The Kharchin is a subgroup of the Mongols residing mainly in northwestern Liaoning and Chifeng, Inner Mongolia. There are Khalkha-Kharchin Mongols in Dorno-Gobi Province and in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. They are descended directly from the Kharchin tümen of the Northern Yuan dynasty. The Kharchin tümen consisted of Yünshebü tümen, southern branch of Yünshebü, eastern branch of Mongol Jin tümen. The eastern tümen and Mongol Jin tribes were also categorized as Kharchin traditionally. Location and population: Kharchin Banner, Chifeng, a Jüünshebü city, Inner Mongolia. The Mongolian population 132,000. Ningcheng County, Chifeng, a Jüünshebü city, Inner Mongolia. The Mongolian population 68,000. Kharchin Left Mongolian Autonomous County, Chaoyang City, Liaoning Province. The Mongolian population 80,900. Fuxin Mongol Autonomous County, Liaoning Province. The Mongolian population 220,400. Chaoyang County and Baipiao County, Chaoyang City, Liaoning Province. The Mongolian population Chaoyang 31,800, Baipiao 30,600. Exact population data of the Kharchins in China is difficult to obtain because there was a great immigration of the Kharchins Fijin Damdar ethnic conflict during the late Qing dynasty, and that the former Joseon League was divided after the Qing dynasty and now belongs to the present three different provinces, Inner Mongolia, Liaoning and Hebei. However, there are Liaoning's ethnic Mongols with over 600,000 population and Hebei's ethnic Mongols with over 100,000 population, both of who are mainly originated from the Kharchins except the smaller Mongol groups with Chafar, Baga, Oirad or other ethnic origins. Brief history. The term Kharchin first appeared in the history of the Yuan dynasty. In the early 13th century, the Kipchaks and the Kanglis surrendered to the Mongol Empire. Because they were famous for distilling Kara Arag, they were called Kharchin by the Mongols. Those Turkic peoples formed the Khiruge in the Yuan dynasty after 1270. Because they formed a minority of the Mongol Yuan dynasty, they quickly assimilated with the Mongols and other groups. By 15th century the Kharchins had formed part of Yünshebü tümen inhabiting Chafar territory. In 1389 the Ming dynasty established the Doi-Nguyen Guard in modern-day Inner Mongolia. After 1448 they resettled much closer to the Ming border. Around 1600 Kharchins moving east merged with the Doi-Nguyen Mongols. They submitted to the Qing dynasty in 1626, and was organized into three Kharchin banners in Joseon League, each ruled by a ruler of the Yuan lineage. In the early 20th century, Prince Gyeongsang Norbu of the Right Kharchin expanded modern education among the Mongols. The Kharchins dominated Republic of China's Mongol bureaucracy at the time. After 1945 the People's Republic of China set up new Kharchin banners outside Inner Mongolia. In 1955 the Right Kharchin banner was transferred to Inner Mongolia as Kharchin banner while the central banner was abolished. The Kharchin Left banner became an autonomous country in 1957. Ethnic origins. According to a Kharchin folk legend, the Kharchin Mongols originated from the three subgroups, the Bornud, the Sharnid and the Harnud. Bor means brown in Mongolian, and Borjigan is the family name of Genghis Khan. The Bornud Kharchin should refer to the Yünshebü tümen led by the successors of Genghis Khan. Sha means yellow in Mongolian, and the Uriankai were often called as the yellow-head Uriankai by other Mongols. The Sharnid-Kharchin should refer to the Duyin Uriankai led by the famous Uriankai general Zelmay and his successors. Kha means black in Mongolian, and the Khitans were often named as Kara Khitans by themselves and others. The Sharnid-Kharchin should refer to the descendants of the Khitan Liao dynasty, consisted of the aboriginal Khitans and a few absorbed ethnic groups such as Jurchen and Han Chinese. Kharchin historian Lomi gave another different explanation for the Bornud and the Sharnud. The Sharnud were people of Genghis Khan and the Bornud were people of General Zelmay according to his book, The History of Borjigits, written in 1732. It is probably because that the Yünshebü led by Genghis Khan's successors were yellow eyes for the non-Mongoloid origins, while the Uriankai, led by General Zelmay's successors, were the brown eyes Mongols. There is an analysis on the Kharchin's three ethnic origins. The ethnic origins of the Eastern Tümen Mongol Jin will be discussed about under the topic of the Mongol Jin Tümen. Yünshebü Tümen. The Yünshebü Tümen consisted of the three sub-tribes, Kharchin, Asud and Yünshebü itself. It was one of the right wing of the Eastern Mongols ruled by Dayan Khan and his successors. The Yünshebü Tümen, or its original tribal alliance, was ever the largest and the most powerful one among the Eastern Mongol tribes before Dayan Khan regained the Golden Family's ruling power on the Mongols. Many famous chief leaders of the court of the Northern Yuan dynasty based in Mongolia, such as the Asuds Sarugtai-Taisi, the Kharchins Bolai-Taisi, the Bekrans Begasan-Taisi and Ishmael-Taisi, Oiratsabara-Taisi, were also the chieftains of the Yünshebü Tümen, or its original tribes, and they depended on the power of Yünshebü to achieve the political aspiration. The Yünshebü Tümen during the rule of Begasan Taisi consisted of at least 10 sub-tribes: Asud, Kharchin, Sharnid, Tavamag, Daland Argonad, Konghatan, Shibaguchan, Nomakan, Buyut and Baga. Asud, Kharchin and Sharnid were known as the Hutchin or Old Kharchin, who were the core tribes of the Yünshebü Tümen. The Asuds were originated from the Yuan Empire's royal guard troops of the Alans. The Asuds Sarugtai-Taisi could be recognized as the first leader of the Yünshebü Kharchin tribal alliance and one of the most important leaders. During the Northern Yuan dynasty, the Kharchin were originated from the Kipchak guard troops served in Khan Balikadadu and other Chinese areas, and also the Kipchak royal horse herder groups in the present Khov province and its neighborhood areas of Mongolia. The Kipchaks got the name of Kharchin because the horse herders were famous for the tribute of horse milk wine to Yuan emperors. The Kharchin originally means people who brew black horse milk wine. Some scholars also argues that the Kharchins were originated at least partly from the collage of the historical Khorasan area in today's Iran and Afghanistan, who were a subgroup of the Oghuz or Argu Turks. The Kharchins Bolai-Taisi was the successor of Arugtai-Taisi. He recovered the power of the Eastern Mongols against the Oirads. There is no the exact clues for the origins of the Sharnud yet, but Yünshebü Tümen's Sharnud should not be simply considered as yellowhead Uriankai or others, while there are so many tribes like Uriankai, Naiman and Buyut that consisted of such a clan of the Sharnud. Even some of the Mongolized Uyghurs were named as the Sharnud too. The name of Sharnud may suggest the non-Mongoloid physical characters. Yünshebü's Sharnud seems some European-looking group followed with the Alans and Kipchaks to serve for the Yuan court in Khan Balik. Yünshebü and Nomikan were the original tribes of the Yünshebü before the Kharchin allied with them and adopted its name. The Yünshebüans were people who raised hawks as their occupation for the Mongol nobles. Numan means arch in Mongolian. The Nomochans were the royal arch artisans. Both Yünshebüans and Nomochans had multi-ethnic origins. They were served for the Yuan emperors when they went for hunting to the Zaganur moving imperial palace of Yuan Empire's upper capital Xanadu, located in the present plain Blue Banner, Shilingal League, Inner Mongolia. Yuan court set up Yünshebü to administer the moving imperial palace. It's believed that Yünshebü and Nomikan adopted Yünshebü, the Yünshebü's alternative name in Mongolian, as the common tribal name after they evolved as a nomadic tribe on the steppes. Burut and Baga, as a part of the Yünshebü tümen, were different from the cousins in Siberian forest. Their ancestors immigrated from the forest to the western Mongolia steppes, and joined the Oirat alliance. It is surmised that Burut and Baga were probably led by an important Oirat chieftain Aragtima. He ever struggled against Azan Khan and defeated him finally. However, Mongolia.They defeated him later and absorbed his people of the Burut and Baga into the Kharchins. It is also possible that Bekrans Begasan-They or Oirat-Mongolia.They brought them into the Yünshebü. Tave Mag, that means 5 tribes, were known as Jalai, Hongarad, Ihayas, Mangud and Urugud, who immigrated from northern Mongolia to the Khitan steppes, the present southeastern Inner Mongolia, but they retreated to the north steppes after the Yuan Empire lost its rule on China. Hongarad and Ihayas were categorized as Dalagan Mongols. Mangud and Urugud were categorized as Niran Mongols. Jalai was a Mongolian-speaking tribe. The Tave Mag were led by the Urugud Zorku to join the Kharchin, and he became the successor of Mongolia.They, after whom was defeated by the Onliguds Mongolia.They. Zorku led the whole tribal alliance to immigrate to the southwestern Inner Mongolia, and they began to be considered as a branch of the right wing of the eastern Mongols. Daland Argonad and Konghatan were surmised as people of Bayan monk Jinong, who was father of Dayan Khan. Orku's daughter Sikert-Teku was a queen of Bayan monk Jinong and the mother of Dayan Khan. The Bekrans Begasan-They immigrated from Uiguristan to southwestern Mongolia. He defeated Orku there and became the leader of the Yünshebü tümen. Begasan-They also urged Manjul Khan to defeat and kill Bayan monk Jinong later. Then the Daland Argonad and Konghatan were absorbed as a part of the Yünshebü tümen, and Begasan's cousin Ishmael-They married Queen Sikert-Teku. Dayan Khan was saved by the Daland Argonad and adopted by Queen Mandukh of Manjul Khan later. The Daland Argonad were the descendants of the Tangut, and the Konghatans were a branch of the Niran Mongols. Bekran originally inhabited in the Hami mountain area of the Uiguristan and its neighborhood areas. Mongols called them Uighurs and considered them as the Mongolized Uighurs. However, the original Bekrans seemed different compared to the real Uighurs. The Bekrans were one of the most important ethnic origins of the Yünshebü, although Bekran wasn't listed as one of Yünshebü's 10 tribes during the time of Begasan-They. Some scholars considered the alliance between the Asuds Arugtai-They and the Bekrans Olje Khan as the basis of the Yünshebü tümen. When Begasan-They and Abarai-They conquered the Yünshebü subsequently, they brought many more Bekrans into the Yünshebü tümen. Duyan Uriankai in 1389. The Ming dynasty formed 3 guards for Mongol chiefs on the eastern slopes of the Khingan. The Uriankai clan formed the Doyan Guard on the Chaw River. The core branch of the Duyan Uriankai were people of the Uls of King El-Hitai, who was a son of Genghis Khan's younger brother Khajian. According to Rashid al-Din, there were three larger tribes of the Naimans, the Tartars, the Uriankai, and some unknown smaller ones in El-Hitayuls. An Uriankai chieftain Chorkhan, who was cousin of General Zelmain Subede, was appointed to be the chief general of El-Hitayuls by Genghis Khan. It was recorded that his troop consisted of 2,000 Oirad soldiers. In 1280s, El-Hitai's successes with other Mongol nobles led a rebellion against Kublai Khan, but it was finally repressed soon, and those nobles were punished cruelly by Kublai Khan. The family of El-Hitai lost the rule on the people after the rebellion, while the Uriankai nobles controlled the ruling power on El-Hitayuls gradually. After Kublai Khan defeated Kaidu Khan, the grandson of Ogedei Khan, the Khiruge, the Ursurad and the Kabkanas of Kharigis Khanate were compelled to immigrate to El-Hitayuls and joined the Duyan Uriankai. A group of the Uriankai was also appointed to guide the altar of Queen Holan, the mother of Chinggis Khan. They seemed different from the Uriankai of El-Hitayuls at first, but for unknown reasons they immigrated from the Uls of Queen Holan and her youngest son Temujin to join the Duyan Uriankai and guarded the altar of Queen Holan in Duyan Ondor mountain area, located in the today's Jalid Bana Zingan League, Inner Mongolia. We also noticed that almost all of Uriankai families among the Kharchins claimed they were descendants of General Zelmay but not Chorkhan. That maybe suggested there is a larger population of the Uriankai from Temujin to join the original Uriankai tribe in El-Hitayuls. Uriankai had at least the two branches of the forest Uriankai and the steppe Uriankai during the time of Chinggis Khan. The forest Uriankai were appointed to guide Chinggis Khan's mausoleum in the Burkhan mountain area and known as the Burkhan Uriankai later, while a group of the steppe Uriankai, known as Duyan Uriankai, were appointed to guide the Queen Holan's altar on the Duyan mountain. There is no exact evidence about that the forest Uriankai spoke Mongolian or Turkic yet, but the steppe Uriankai had been categorized as a group of the Darlagan Mongols after they immigrated from Siberian forest to the steppes. The two branches of the Uriankai had a great influence on the later history of the Mongols after Yuan dynasty. A group of the Burkhan Uriankai was probably one of the core ethnic origin of the Ordos Mongols of the right wing ruled by Jinong, and most of the Burkhan Uriankai evolved as the Uriankai tümen of the left wing during the time of Dayan Khan. After this tümen was destroyed, some of them fled to the north and maybe had the ethnic links with Tanu Uriankai and Altai Uriankai. The Duyan Uriankai were conquered and absorbed by the Chaga and the Inner Hala in the north, and by the Kharchins and the eastern Tümen and the Mongol Jin in the south. The Zarud, known as one of the Inner Kharkwa people of Duyan Uriankai's Bagasant Tabunam, who married Dayan Khan's only daughter, Azan Khan of the Khorasoirad, also claimed him as the seventh generation offspring of Uriankai General Zelmay according to some historical resources. Khiruge, Ursurad and Kabkanas were originally the inhabitants of the Siberian forest. The Khiruge was a Turkic group whoever established the Great Khiruge Khanate based on the former Uyghur Khanate in the present North Mongolia, and the nomadic kingdom was destroyed by the Khitans a century later. Some of them immigrated back to their original homeland in the Siberia forest, and some leave there and were known as the Naimans and/or others on the later history. The Khiruge were absorbed into Duyan Uriankai. There were also the Khiruge, the Mongolized Khiruge tribes among the Owads and the Arkak. The Ursuat, who were famous for the traditional medicine, and the Kabkanas were the neighbors of the Khiruge. We have no clues about their ethnic origins yet. Naiman and Tatar were the main 5 tribes on the Mongol steppes during the time of Chinggis Khan. The Naimans were surmised to have the ethnic links with people of the Khiruge Khanate in the North Mongolia. There was a Naiman tribe known as one of the 8 Amags of the Sakha-Tümen. Their descendants inhabit in the present Naiman Banat Tongliao, Inner Mongolia, Haichid, Halasud, Garhata, Shiraranud, Narad, Ma'ud, Nuld and other family names of the Mongols were considered to link with the Naimans. The Tatars were a Mongolic tribe inhabited in the eastern Mongolia. There were the 6 subgroups of the Tatars consisted of the Tutukiat, the Algi, the Chagan, the Kuit, the Tarit, the Burki. According to Rashid al-Din, the Zargan Tatars were also known as one of the 8 Amags of the Sakha-Tümen, and there is Zargan Tatar, Algi and other family names originated from the Tatars among the Mongols today. The Naiman and Zargan Tatar were probably absorbed by the Sahar from the north branch of the Duyand-Uri-Ankai, like the Zarud absorbed by the inner Kark. Descendants of the Liao dynasty. The land inhabited by the Kharchins was also the homeland of the Khitans, a famous Mongolic group in the eastern Mongolia. According to Rashid al-Din, there were 10,000 families of the Kara Khitans, the western branch of the Khitans, in Mongolian Khanate, which consisted of 93,000 families in total during the time of Chinggis Khan. The nomadic Khitans of their original homeland were recognized officially as the Mongols during Yuan dynasty II. Tavamags consisted of Jalai, Ongarad, Ikaz, Mangud and Urugud, led by General Mahorlai, to immigrate to the land of the Khitans and mixed with them. Duyand-Uri-Ankai followed the Tavamags to immigrate to the Khitan steppes and became the lords of this land during the Northern Yuan dynasty. Thus, the nomadic Khitans were absorbed by the Mongols gradually and didn't exist as an independent ethnic group except that the Dor, a small modern Mongolic group, claimed the Khitan ethnic origin. The Khitan as a large ancient nation had a multi-origins too. The Khitan's cousin tribe, the Kumokai, were conquered and absorbed by the Khitans after they raised to the power. Both Khitaran and Kumuchi were originated from the Yuan tribe of the Yünshebü. The Yuan was originally a southern Xiongnu who immigrated from the present southwestern Inner Mongolia to the eastern steppes inhabited by the Yünshebü and mixed with them there. That was similar to what happened to Yünshebü and Duyand-Uri-Ankai later. The TL of the northern steppes were also absorbed into the Khitans in part. The Khitans were categorized as the 2 groups of the Yelu, who were the original Khitans and the royal family of Liao dynasty, and the Sia, who were originated from the 2 Shenmi, the branches of the TL, and they were the tribes of the Khitan's queens. There were the 8 Khitan's ancient tribes recorded by Chinese: Ziwandan, Hedahi, Fufuyu, Ziling, Rillian, Pg, Li, Tuliayu, and the Kumokai consisted of the 5 ancient tribes: Ru, Huji, Mohefu, Qigu, Mukan, Shide. It is also worthy to mention that a group of the Komuchi who immigrated to the west after the Liao dynasty was destroyed by the Jurchens were probably the ancestors of the royal family of the Kipchaks, whom the Kharchins Kipchaks were originated from. Notable Kharchin Mongols: Gangsenov Noyan of Kharchin, left banner of King, first founding director of Mongolian and Tibetan Affairs Commission of the Republic of China. Khasan, one of the main supporters of the Bogd Khanate of Mongolia in 1911. Eltima, de facto in Yuan dynasty.